This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com. Once again, in the background of the Kaisel HaMaravi, as we get ready for Shmini Atzeres / Simchus Torah, and here in Eretz Yisrael, it's one day, Shmini Atzeres and Simchus Torah. For us in Chutz La'aretz, it's Shmini Atzeres and then Simchus Torah. Shmini Atzeres is a very puzzling day. In Chutz La'aretz, and here also for those that are Chutzniks, we eat in the Sukkah on Shmini Atzeres, and it's puzzling, because we also make a Shechianu. Now, Shechianu means that it's Shmini Atzeres and it's a regel b'fnei atzmai. But yet, because it's a suffix Shvi, it's a doubt, maybe it's the seventh day, we still eat in the Sukkah. But we don't say that it's a Sukkah. We don't say in benching, Harachmanu Yokamanu, a Sukkah's David Anoifoles. We don't say in the Shpizin. So the children then ask us, what is Shmini Atzeres? If we're not supposed to have in mind the Sukkah, so it's not Zeichel Anoni HaKavod, what is Sukkah about? So there's two very important things. First, there's a famous Targum Yonasim Ben Uziel. The Targum Yonasim Ben Uziel says, Knishin Tahava Bechedva, you should enter with joy, Mimatelchan Lebateichain, from your shack into the house. Shmini Atzeres celebrates leaving the Sukkah and going into the house. Now that's a strange celebration. Why are we celebrating that when the Sukkah was such a holy place? We said there's only two mitzvahs that you bring your whole body into the mitzvah, Yeshivas Eretz Yisrael and Yeshivas HaSukkah. We're here with the Ushpizin Kaddish and the holy Ushpizin. So what's the reason? Why should we be so happy? So the answer is that we know that from Pesach we clebrate a chronological climb. Pesach is when Hashem took us to be His people. V'lakachti eschem lilam. Shavuos is when He gave us the Torah. Sukkot is the 40 years where we traveled in the desert and He protected us with Ananei HaKavod. And then finally, Shmini Atzeres celebrates Knisa Eretz Yisrael, entering into Eretz Yisrael. And that's why at the beginning of what's Shmini Atzeres Simchus Torah in Eretz Yisrael, what do? We do the 7 hakafos. And many Ashkenazim minyanim, Sfardim minyanim in Chutz La'aretz even do it when they have 2 days. Shmini Atzeres, they go 7 times around. What's the 7 times around? The 7 times around commemorates the 7 circuits that we did around Yericho until the walls of Yericho fell and we entered into Eretz Yisrael. And that is symbolized in Eretz Yisrael when we leave on Hoshana Rabbah and then Shmini Atzeres, we leave our sukkah into the house. It celebrates the Knisa Eretz Yisrael, our celebration, and the 7 hakafos represent the walls of Yericho coming down and the entry into Eretz Yisrael. Now, by the way, the reason why the walls have to come down, it's so miraculous, because the walls of Yericho were as they were wide as they were tall. So you couldn't just topple them, because if you topple them, they would still be in the way. The only way to get through is that they should sink into the ground. That was the great miracle of the walls of Yericho coming down. Now the second, but that doesn't help we who eat in the sukkah on Shmini Atzeres, because it's a suffix of the 7th day. So then what do we have in mind? The children say we can't think about the sukkah, so we tell them, first of all, minig aviseinu b'yadeinu. But then there's another kavanah. And that kavanah is that on Sukkot, and it's a way that Shmini Atzeres is more than any of the other Yom Tovim. Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot, they all commemorate ancient events. Pesach is Yetzias Mitzrayim, thousands and thousands of years ago. So Shavuos is Matan Torah Seinu, when the Torah was given in Sinai. Sukkot is when we traveled in the desert thousands of years ago. But Hashem gave us one day Yom Tov, where Hashem says, Koshu alai pridaschem. It's difficult after this long chag that you should leave me. Otzru alai yuma, stay by me one more day. And that means that Hashem is telling us now, Jews of the 21st century, it's hard for me that you are leaving. Stay by me one more day. That's the personal love of Shmini Atzeres. Shmini Atzeres is saying that Hashem says, I don't want you to leave. You're going to go back to your work schedule. You're going to go back. stay with me one more day. You come to shul, you celebrate, you make kiddush, you sing zmiras. Stay by me one more day. Now Hashem says this that represents now, even in the 21st century, what do we have left? We don't have a Beis Hamikdash, we don't have the Karbanos. What do we have left? Ein lanu shir rak haTorah azos. All we have left is the Torah, and that's why we have Simchas HaTorah. That's the pinnacle of our joy, is Torah. And that's what we celebrate on Shmini Atzeres Simchas Torah. And a person makes a commitment, as we're going to start Bereshis again, that this year I'm going to be Mavis Sedra. I'm going to do at least Shnayim Mikra Targum. Even if I don't understand it, I'll make sure I'll break out that Bereshis and make sure to start Bereshis. Because remember, Kalamashlim Parashiyosef Matzibah Shnayim Mikra Targum Marichin Lo Yom of Shnoisav. It lengthens our years and our days. And maybe we'll say, Hashem, on this Simchas Torah, as we embrace the Torah, and the Torah looks at us and says, who are you? I didn't see you much this year. We'll embrace the Torah and we'll dance. Torah Hashem Tamima. We'll dance and we'll say, this year I'm going to start Brachas Daf Beis on January 3rd. I'm going to start the Daf Yomi. I'm going to learn with you every day. And that's because may it be a wonderful Yom Tov, a good and kvit.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.